Jade. Well, I've been seeing some scuttlebutt on Twitter that if we had Carmelo and Trick face to face last year, we may get a little Jade and Naomi face off this year. Because somebody posted a clip of Naomi 2 years ago when she got her flowers and her and Jade was on that stage dancing. So we go from that to this.
I love everything that he did for B-Fab, and I am glad that they rehired her. And she's not in a group anymore. But I, for one, just like with Seth Rollins, am excited to see how she rocks this ref outfit. Because that is always what I love when the women are special guest referees, of like how they style up that ref shirt.
Queen PR, Krista B. Those wrestling girls, TWG, Black Excellence, making it effortless. Podcast bringing up women in wrestling. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite girls, those wrestling girls. It's your girl, Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And we are back. And this time, you see, we're back in the studio. We just like pulling the okie doke on you guys sometimes. It feels good to switch it up a little bit. But last week, we just want to say thank you all for tuning into our show. It was fun being at home or being like in a setting that you're very, very familiar with and seeing all of the artwork and stuff or whatever that we are used to having in the background. So it was cool. But this time we are back in the studio, back in full effect, live. And we're here to give you a great show. Thank you for tuning in to Those Wrestling Girls, brought to you by the Revolt Podcast Network, a.k.a. the Revolt Creator Network. So let's just jump into wrestling because there's been a lot going on.
It has been.
There's some beefs and things that are kayfabe and not kayfabe. I kind of want to jump real quick, like start real quick with this one because I'm a little bit conflicted when it comes down to this beef. Because I wasn't there, I don't know their story, but Swerve and AJ Francis. As you all know, they were both a part of Hit Row when they were both in WWE in the very, very beginning. And then Swerve did a interview with Vlad TV, and he said some things. It wasn't outright and blatant, but we knew like who he was talking about. So AJ Francis, like he did. Like he said his piece. He said what he needed to say. But now it's looking like it's going to be like a war of words because we know they're not saying that they won't, but I don't think it's going to lead to like physical interactions with each other. But what did you think of the Swerve interview in general? Like even from the clips that were shared in the group chat?
To be completely honest with you, I didn't even really put too much thought into it. Swerve being Swerve, to be honest. Swerve being Swerve, you know, he's done interviews before. Where he's kind of talked shit and cooned out a little bit. So I was not surprised. I also wasn't surprised that he went on Vlad TV out of all platforms to have this interview. Also interesting about that is it's a part of the Vlad TV members only. So you could only watch part 1 for free. So that means a lot of people paid to watch the rest of the interview, which is weird. You know, I wish AJ Francis didn't like give him all of that because it's like Swerve is not gonna back up what he said, you know. But yeah, I chalked it up to honestly Swerve being Swerve.
Okay, well there's that. Yeah. Swerve being Swerve. Yeah. And we're not gonna give too much light on. But what I will say is that I salute AJ Francis for standing his ground. You know, he said he will always stand 10 toes down for a black woman.
That he stood up for B-Fab. I love to hear that. But again, we know AJ and he's always been vocal about standing up for B-Fab. Like he's even talked about calling Vince after they were released to say if there's anyone you should keep, it's B-Fab. He even talked about how she should have won the Royal Rumble and how he's been very vocal and supportive of her in that way. So I loved hearing that even backstage. Yeah. The energy did not change.
Good. Well, we need more people like AJ Francis in our corners.
Right.
Always.
And I think it's true because, you know, maybe 2 years ago, people weren't feeling that way about B-Fab. But now, like, he saw potential in her that she's kind of matching. Like
everybody sees potential in her now.
You know, I love, you know, like again, 2 years ago, she would not have been someone that I'm like, okay, she's gonna be, but she has literally grown week to week in so many different ways. I think the way the fans have gravitated towards her has grown week to week as well. Her mic skills are getting better. Mm-hmm. Anyone they pair her with, she does very well with. And then she's another tall, beautiful Black woman doing her thing, and she's not like anybody else on the roster. So I think that is really good. So just tying it back to, you know, the women's division, I love everything that he did for B-Fab, and I am glad that they rehired her. Mm-hmm. And she's not in a group anymore. She was, you know, kind of just the talking, you know, the background for Hit Row. And now she's doing her thing. So
yeah, because the Street Profits was taken out.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, so she definitely, I'm glad. I mean, everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad that she's standing on her own now. You know, she had a great match with Charlotte Flair. And I just want to see more of her. I want to see more of what she got going on because she's looking like she can talk the talk and walk the walk. Mm-hmm. So give us more B-Fab.
Good for you, girl.
Good for you.
And she's always so nice every time. Mm-hmm. She's one of those people we run into at WrestleMania every year. It's like a tradition at this point. And she's always so nice.
We have a lot of
energy doesn't.
We have a lot of WrestleMania traditions.
We do. It's people you see during WrestleMania week that I only see during WrestleMania week, and it feels like no time is lost. Passed, and it's like always love. I love that.
Right. So now we gotta, when we go back this year, we gotta find Carmelo.
Yes.
We gotta find a Meta Girl.
AJ.
We gotta find AJ. We gotta find B-Fab. Jade. Well, I've been seeing some scuttlebutt on Twitter that if we had Carmelo and Trick face to face last year, we may get a little Jade. Well, I've been seeing some scuttlebutt on Twitter that if we had Carmelo and Trick face to face last year, we may get a little Jade and Naomi face off this year.
Here for
because somebody posted a clip of Naomi 2 years ago when she got her flowers and her and Jade was on that stage dancing. Mm-hmm. So we go from that to this.
Tweeted recently about how Jade and her and Naomi were closer, and like people probably don't see that because when she went to WWE, they automatically teamed her with Bianca. But then you go back to WrestleMania 2 years ago, and it was Naomi and Jade, and a lot of that could be because Naomi wasn't in WWE, so it was easier for them.
Yeah, they were sitting front row of basketball games together. Yeah, they were doing a lot of stuff together.
So you know that adds to more reasons why Jade is upset. I mean, I'm always going to be Team Naomi no matter what, but it goes to more of why Jade needs to, you know, do what she got to do.
I'm team conflicted, okay? Because I am cool with all three of them, and it is just hard. It's like I said before, it's like picking your favorite child.
See, I'm going to go with my oldest, my OG, which is Naomi, who I've been rocking with since 2012.
No, I'm saying, like, I mean, I get it. Like, you have you have your experiences with each one. Even like from a fan perspective, you have your experiences with each one. So, of course, Naomi would definitely be the one because she's been rocking out. She's been there from the beginning. She's been in, what is it now, 3 or 4 different eras now as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then you also have the middle child, which is Bianca, who like came up in the ranks of NXT, and she's been, you know, Miss EST of WWE and EST of NXT, and you can't spell WrestleMania without EST and setting records and making history. And you have the baby, and I'm the youngest of 3, so I'm going, you know, I'm gonna stand up for the youngest and the third children, who's just like, listen, look at me, I'm stepping out of the box, I'm doing what it is I need to do, and y'all not gonna sit here and silence me and shut me down. But when you collectively, when they all get together, and you know, like the magic and the fire and stuff that they make together, and their personalities mesh well, and they're just so cool, and it's just really hard for you to just like pick a side. And I'm not picking a side. I'm in the middle.
I'm team. I feel all of that, but Team Naomi all the way, especially because she has, and it's funny because when she came back and everybody wanted her to turn heel way before this, and everyone were like,
everybody? Is it you?
Yeah.
You're everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wanted Naomi to turn heel for the simple fact that she had a reason to. Like how she left WWE, she could have easily leaned into that and gave it like some realism. So I was like, if any three of them would turn heel, I feel like it would make more sense for Naomi to do so. And that promo she did with Bianca, she was right. The fans do turn on her. You know, anything that she does gets scrutinized. She had to walk away because she was treated unfairly. Like,
and still was scrutinized. Like, Sasha put the battery on her back.
Exactly.
What y'all not going to do is call my girl a follower.
Exactly. So if there was anyone that was easy for me to root for that had a gripe, it would be Naomi. But I do want to talk about Bianca real quick because they are in Europe right now.
Hey, girl.
And this is very interesting because they always do a Europe tour on the road to WrestleMania, but it's usually just house shows. This time, Raw and SmackDown are abroad, and we've been having to watch Raw and SmackDown at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Listen, I'm tired, okay? I can't keep up. I can't. Give us back our 8 o'clocks.
It's fun. You don't think it's fun? Like in the middle of the day to be like, oh shit, Raw's
First of all,
on.
I was out and about on Monday. And I tried to put, first of all, why Netflix don't do picture-in-picture on your phone? You know, when you go.
Oh, that's whack. Maybe because it's live?
No, but so what? So I'll be watching Sling.
Yeah.
And it be picture-in-picture. You know, you want to multitask.
Netflix.
Fix
I'm
that.
going to need to scroll while I'm watching on my phone.
Right, fix that. Because I'm just like, all right, well, forget it. I'm going to just watch it when I get home. And that's what I did, watch it when I got home.
Yeah. But I don't know if you've noticed, but Bianca and some other of the black wrestlers get booed.
Yes.
And even before, it's not even like they're doing something that warrants them to get booed. Like, they just get booed. So, of course, that brings up, like, you know, is Italy fan base a little bit on the racist?
Oh, no, Italy is very racist.
Is the France, you know?
Italy is one of, like, it may be a pretty country city or whatever, like, whatever. But I've heard, like, they're very racist. Wow. It's a lot of them that's very racist out there. Spain.
Their asses, and the reactions that Bianca particularly were getting was very upsetting to me. Because my thing is, I love, you know, obviously I love going to wrestling shows. I love visceral reactions from fans, whether it's cheers, boos, this is awesome, whatever. But when you're just, like, booing someone just to, like, boo them, like, it kind of is, like, whack to me. Like, you guys are getting these amazing shows on the road to WrestleMania, and this is how you're gonna act.
Yeah, they
towards one of the top stars. So that was very very upsetting in a way, because you don't want to think that way. Because I'm one that always advocates for, like, the shows that are not in the US, because I do love how, like, insane the fans are. Because to them it's like a WrestleMania because they don't get shows a lot. But then when you get that reaction, it's kind of like, y'all don't deserve this.
But I also feel like, and I feel like we're switching roles right now. I feel like I'm about to say something that you would say. I also feel like, because remember when they was in Puerto Rico, she got booed and EO got cheered. I also feel like it's because
but that felt more like in a match type of way, not like Bianca shows up and it's like, boo.
I mean, I heard the boos, but I think I heard the boos when Bianca, like, they would started brawling in the ring and she hit that KOD, which was a crazy KOD over the top rope onto Rhea. Like, what? But I also feel like because they're not, like, they don't want her to win. Like, they either see Rhea or EO win. Like, they feel like, I mean, maybe they all Team Mommy. Like, if Team Mommy, if Mommy hates her, then we gonna hate her too, because she ain't have to be out here distracting my match. That's how I feel. Like,
so you don't think it was,
although it is some racism, let me not put blinders on and be like, yeah, no. I do feel like the boos are warranted if they are Team Mommy and how she keeps coming out.
So you feel like the boos are, like, more character based, like who they're rooting for, as opposed to just, because that's how I felt about Bianca being booed in Puerto Rico, where it's like the crowd was just wanting EO to win. So you think it's more that than, like, they don't like black people?
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe that it's that. And I don't want to sit here and skew it for, you know, I want to believe, like, it is story-based or character-based, because they didn't boo EO. If it's, like, a real racism type situation, like, they didn't boo EO, they're not going to boo Rhea. So I'm just going to say, for everybody's sake, everybody's on Team Rhea, and they're going to boo Bianca, and that's it. But in reality, we all know racism is an underlying factor in this.
Oh, always. So speaking of this triple threat match, They brawled out on Raw. What is your consensus on this match? Who do you see taking it? Do you think it's getting good on the road to WrestleMania? Where are you at with this?
To be honest, if we want to keep streaks going, Bianca will have to take it. Bianca's undefeated at WrestleMania.
I would love for her to keep that streak.
She's the new Undertaker.
Yeah, I would love that.
But I also would love to see Rhea finally pin Io. Rhea has never been Io.
That would be great storytelling.
Or Io get knocked out so bad, like it becomes a match between Rhea and Bianca for a while, and then Bianca wins.
Because we all still want that big Bianca.
They playing with us.
Rhea feud. Like, it just makes so much sense from their history going back to NXT. So, God, I'm so conflicted with that too, because I don't want Bianca to ever lose at WrestleMania. And it's like, it could be kind of like the Undertaker streak where it wasn't like a thing until maybe like 10 WrestleManias, and then it was like, okay, the streak. So it could be one of those things where it's like, oh shoot, like Bianca did never lose at Mania. Let's keep.
I think one time I told her, I said, I'm like, you got a streak going? And she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. Like,
see, I didn't realize until you mentioned it. I was like, oh shit, you were
undefeated. In the words of her, undefeated.
And you can't spell WrestleMania without EST, period. Has she been on every WrestleMania card since her first one? I think so.
Yeah.
In a major match.
Yeah.
The Big Three's entrance last year, because I was like, wait, what did she do last year? But that was cool. That was like the first time she didn't have a singles match, I think.
Yes.
In that tag team match. And then this, the triple threat is it confirmed as a triple threat?
No.
Okay.
We have to see.
Rhea just decided to put her name somewhere that we were not asked for. Okay.
Rhea, yeah, because next week on Raw, it's a match between Rhea and Io. And Bianca's the special guest referee.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, I already know. She tweeted to my two girls, like, yo, can y'all help me? Yeah, she gonna need, let's get her some quick little ref training real quick. But I, for one, just like with Seth Rollins, am excited to see how she rocks this ref outfit.
Oh,
because that is always what I love when the women are special guest referees, of like how they style up that ref shirt. And I hope she goes with the traditional black and white, because the refs changed to that gray, but like imagine what Bianca can make.
Oh, I know what she can make. I'm still waiting on some pieces.
Top.
I'm still waiting on some pieces. Yeah. And I feel like whatever she does with her ref top, I'm gonna need one. I'm a small girl. I'm a small. Just make it a size small.
No, probably not. She's buff as hell. I was about to say, you're probably the same size, but she's.
I mean, she could be a small, medium. But I mean, we're going to make it work.
Yeah.
We just going to make it work.
Yeah, just make two. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out from there.
Okay. We will figure it out.
I'm very excited for that. Do you see Io losing?
I don't know what I see. I'm Stevie Wonder to the shit right now. I don't know what I see.
Right. We just got to see what happens. And this is the first, like, this is Bianca's first time being a special guest referee, which I think is also cool about Bianca, because she's still so relatively new that there's still so much that she hasn't done yet that seemed like special guest referee. We've been seeing that for like years and years and years and years, but we haven't seen Bianca do it. So I'm hyped for that.
You said Bianca's still relatively new. When do you get old? I mean, not, when you become like, because Bianca's been on the main roster for 5 years now?
But weren't we talking about Naomi that's been there since like 2007?
You said 12.
No, I got into her at 12. She got signed in 2007 or something. So compared to like the veterans, she's relatively new. Charlotte signed in 2012? Compared to Bianca, who, 6 years?
2016. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, to me, she feels relatively new.
I mean,
because there's things that she hasn't done yet. And
but she's done so much. It's just like, we still consider her new. But we get it. I get it.
She's kind of like fresh. And then you look at Jade and she's like an infant compared to Bianca and Naomi.
Not an infant.
But I do like that Bianca still has a lot of firsts that she hasn't accomplished yet. So that's cool. So we'll see next week. Where this triple threat goes, where this match goes. I will be seated for that because I am very curious to see, like...
Is it back at regular time next week?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Because they cut into my nap time.
I want to say yes. It's like right dead
they
set in the middle of the day.
Into my nap time. Like I literally dozed off and I didn't even know I fell asleep. I'm like, what happened?
Me, it's like once 8 o'clock comes, I'm like, what do I
It's like, what do you do at 8 o'clock?
Because even if I'm not like locked in, it's still something that's on the TV. So then when 8 o'clock comes down, I'm like, okay.
I'm like, do we go to bed?
All right.
Like the last time I went and did laundry.
Yep.
At 8 o'clock
Chores,
at night.
You do the rest of the stuff that you gotta do.
You gotta do. Like, what? I'm in the I like doing laundry in the daytime.
Yo.
Like, what?
I do hope that is back at the regular time.
Because y'all cut into my nap. And y'all know I'm cranky without a nap. I am cranky. Like people get cranky when they hungry. I'm cranky without a nap. Shoot.
Yes, for sure. So Charlotte, we got Charlotte and Tiffany. Do you feel like the fire under that feud that everybody was anticipating is dulled after their exchange? Or do you think it still has that same heat? And do you think that Charlotte should have chose Rhea? Or at the time?
No, I've always said I want Tiffany and Charlotte. I've always said that.
So it's still hot for you?
Let me finish.
Okay.
Let's not jump the gun here.
Okay.
I've always said I wanted Tiffany and Charlotte. I've always said that. However, you ever seen the videos where the birthday girl is getting ready to blow out her candle? You got that one person, that one little kid that just slaps the candle. That's what it did for me. Somebody done slapped the fire on the candle for me. And I'm just like, you know what?
Tiffany.
Y'all can have that because, so I don't know where it's going to go because I don't feel like they're doing much with Tiffany. And the way Charlotte read Tiffany for filth the other day, I just don't know. Like, what you gonna do now, Tiffany? Like, how you gonna get her back?
She's gonna have to next time they are face to face on the mic, like Tiffany's gonna have to like really, really, really bring it. Like she's gonna have to really bring it. And I think a lot of that too, and I think we might have talked about it on the last episode, was just I think lack of experience, because I think they were off the cuff. And, Tiffany is good on the mic, but are you good enough to go toe-to-toe off the top with Charlotte fucking Flair? I don't think so.
I think she needs to watch some tape because
Charlotte or get was that like confidence.
Charlotte was like that with Sasha. Sasha was like, Charlotte said something about being a one-night stand, and Sasha was like, you the daughter of Ric Flair. You probably the product of a one-night stand.
See, Tiffany should have went hand. Oh my God, I saw a tweet where somebody said that Tiffany should have said what Seth Rollins said to who did he say it to? Like, oh, we could talk about your family, but you don't have a family because Matt Riddle. Somebody said she should have said that to Charlotte about her divorce. Like, oh, something, your man, oh, I'm sorry, he divorced you or something. And I'm like, see, sometimes
you have to go for the jugular.
You gotta go for the jugular. Because I would have shook Charlotte for sure.
So I like stuff like that. I just don't like it when they go for the dead relatives.
Yeah.
Like when Paige said it to Charlotte about her brother.
Oof, that was rough.
And when they talked about Natty's dad.
And that wasn't even that far and after,
they keep
that long after he passed.
Right. And they keep talking about Dusty Rhodes. Like, let the dead people rest. If you want to cover somebody that's alive and well and kicking, cool. Don't even try to make almost dead jokes about Ric Flair. Like, don't even do that. But the divorce thing, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's like, why? It's like everybody knows about it.
And it's still fresh. So you can throw salt on that.
I would have shook her. It's like, I want to get
watch
real.
that shit bubble and burn.
Well, I hope the match at Mania delivers. And it does. It's like, we forget about the road to WrestleMania. Because there are some feuds on the road to WrestleMania that are very lackluster. And then the match, it did like even doesn't matter. Like Sasha and Bianca, their feud going into Mania was a little wonky, in my opinion. But like, who cares? It was a amazing match. It was historic. And they both deliver. And it definitely made Bianca, well, we all knew she was going to be a star, but I think that match with Sasha at Mania solidified why we feel that way, and she's been dominating ever since. So we'll see what happens. So speaking of Mania, Vegas is coming up. They are really doing the most in Vegas.
It's like y'all really want us to sell all of the organs that we have to get to Mania and buy tickets to Mania alone. And then all of a sudden, I want us to do these WrestleMania after dark parties on top of everything else that's happening.
On top of Wale Mania.
Wale Mania. Ashe Wrestling is happening during Wale Mania time or the same day. On top of the wrestling brunches.
GCW.
Fourth row. GCW. And I want to go see Natty and Bloodsport, but it's also the same.
That would be super cute.
It's also the same time or same day as Wale Mania, around that time at 8 o'clock. It's just like
so many.
Are y'all paying? Are y'all gonna? How are we gonna recoup this money back?
Right.
It's ghetto out here. Somebody's not doing the math right. Like Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Are we going to be spending that at your house once we can't pay rent?
Yo,
like what's happening?
Put us up.
Because what is happening?
Yes. But I mean, it honestly makes sense for them to do after parties because the time zones in Vegas, the show's going to be over very early, so it makes sense for them to have programming after that. If you are going to be in Vegas, have fun, be careful, and map out what you need to do because, like we said, there's going to be many things going on. And
let us know if y'all gonna be there. Like we may pull up, we may pop out.
Yes, let us know if you're gonna be there. I'm trying to get my sister to come out because it's Vegas
and I've never been.
You know, yes, and I can only imagine what a WrestleMania season in Vegas is about to be like.
I just can't wait for WrestleMania season in New Orleans.
That's gonna be amazing, and I've never been to New Orleans, so it's about that time.
I need New Orleans ASAP.
Yes, and you know that's gonna be here before we fucking know it.
First of all, I'm just waiting to not spend money on Ubers. That you could walk everywhere in New Orleans.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that.
Put extra money in my pocket, okay? Thank you.
Okay, so is there, I know I'm asking you week to week, but what is the match you are looking the most forward to?
The triple threat between Rock. Hey, Rock.
I'm like, should it be that?
Between Roman, Punk, and Steph. Like the way they building into that feud, the way they fighting, the way Punk is over here like Big Chief, Grimace.
I love CM Punk. Like, oh my God. Like, I did not expect to love him as much as I do. And I really do.
Give that one, I need to be front row and center. Like, I need to feel the hair oil and sweat and grease off of Roman's hair when he goes to spear somebody. I need to be that close.
Yeah.
Because we have to see eye to eye.
Yes, for sure.
All of us. Like, have to see eye to eye.
Kevin Owens and Randy Orton is official now. I think we saw that coming.
We saw that coming, but I'm only interested if we get the punt kick. Because Kevin Owens needs that ass kick.
He deserves it. Of course, excited about Cody and John Cena.
Not me.
That's gonna be very good.
Not me.
John Cena's last WrestleMania, which is so crazy to think about. Although I don't believe that anything is anyone's last anything when it comes to WWE. But yeah, I think that's the match I'm most excited for as well, is that triple threat. Of course, the women. I really hope that the women open the show. I don't think they're gonna main event. Hopefully they do, but if they don't, I hope they open up the show. And it's a good time. I just want
Jade and Naomi to be official at WrestleMania.
Jade and Naomi, yes, me too. Me too. And I'm like, there's not that many matches on the card yet. I'm sure like y'all could add a couple more matches.
They gotta fill it out because we still don't have the tag team titles up there. We Liv and Raquel. I'm hearing that there's gonna be a fatal 4-way for the IC champion between Braun, Finn, Penta, and Dominic.
Here for that.
Okay.
That sounds good, like a good match.
Definitely, we already got Jay and Gunther. And I hope Gunther's okay and he cleaned his pants because Jimmy slapped the dog shit out of you.
As he should have. He been running off at the mouth. I also love how Redman responds to every time somebody gets the shit slapped out of them.
I'm surprised that song ain't number one on iTunes yet. Because what?
It's like so good. Let's shift to NXT. So Stephanie Vaquer already made history holding both the World NXT Championship and the North American Championship. And then she made more history last night defending both titles on the show in 2 good matches. Fallon Henley, she and Jada Parker. Did you get a chance to check out the matches? How do you feel about it?
I didn't see it because, YouTube TV is expensive.
It is.
So I can't watch it anymore.
You gotta do the new email address.
That's too much. That is too much. That is too much.
That's what I did
for my
until
life. They caught you?
No, I ran out of
Emails.
So just like, fuck it, somebody let me borrow these.
Did you use those Wrestling Girls one?
No.
So we could both watch it together.
Exactly.
We do that one.
So
Okay.
maybe that could be the next
that
one.
That could be the next one because
like
it's
3
so
months,
expensive. Like, it is so expensive. Like, I'm just understanding why CW is not on Sling yet. I got Channel 2, I got Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 7. Give me Channel 11.
I would think by now that we'll have the CW. But the matches were good. I mean, it's Stephanie Vaquer. Like, come on. Then honestly, I hate to say this, one of the highlights for me is always Booker T on commentary because he's just so dramatic and extra. And I'm like, how are you a real person? Like, how are you able to say some of this like silly shit on commentary and like everyone just like takes it seriously? What the fuck?
We already know how the feelings I have for Booker T, so I'm not even gonna touch that.
On the Swerve end of things?
No, I just Booker T in general. Like, it's certain things that Swerve said I kind of agree with when it came down to Booker T. But I don't know it personally, but whatever. Congratulations to Stephanie Vaquer.
She retained both of her titles. I do want her to lose one at one point. I don't want her to like hold both titles like forever.
Like, what they gonna do?
Because it's like it's like she's the star of the division. Period. Like, give that belt off and open it up to a couple more girls to be like the focus of the show. That's like how I always felt about the double titles, especially in NXT because y'all have hella talent. Like, it's not like you guys are scarce on top guys and you're like, oh, let's put everything on this one person. Like, y'all have a lot of talent, so spread it out. Also, our girls Metaphor lost to Gigi Dolan and what's her name? And I'm like, God, what are we doing here?
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, that's the second time that they lost, and I'm like,
but they making appearances in TNA.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They made 2 appearances
also,
in TNA.
They might have one of my favorite entrances right now.
For sure.
Like, I every time I see it, I'm
the superhero, yeah.
Yes. The shadows, the lollipop, everything. Also, and I remember when you did your interview with her, she had the cover. The cover. Sell them shits.
Oh, we spoke about that. We spoke about that because I told her I needed one.
Market that shit because you will definitely catch me on this show. Like,
right, open because like when you want to take a quick nap or whatever,
so dope.
Or like I'm always going to resort to a nap. I don't want to have to put that.
Save that lollipop.
Yeah, like what? So definitely sell that. But speaking of TNA, real quick, I got to sound off.
Do it.
TNA is under new ownership or new management, whatever. How dare y'all fire Gail Kim? How dare y'all? Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Gail Kim has been with this company since, I believe, 2009? Like, behind the scenes, pushing these women, still wrestling, do whatever she needs to do, being that inspiration, being that motivational push, being that backbone for the women's division, the women's knockouts division. And y'all gonna turn around and fire her with no explanation given? She gave her blood, sweat, and tears to this company. And y'all gonna turn around and fire her? This is why it's important for people to stand up and take up the space that they are in because, the way that they violated my good sis. They violated her. No explanation given. Like, we need reasons as to why you would go around literally fire Gail Kim.
You could tell by all the wrestlers' reactions to it that this was not a good decision.
And it was
whatsoever.
shocking.
And it came out of nowhere. And with the partnership, like, you would have thought, like, you guys would want Gail Kim's wisdom and everything that she brings to the table. Do you think that this could mean a possibility that maybe she will become a WWE employee?
That's if she can reconcile whatever she needs to reconcile.
Yeah. Because then
It's like a lot of
this
stuff that
sucks.
needs to be done.
Yeah.
Um,
Triple H.
I mean,
do what you gotta do.
I mean, he did it for CM Punk. He could probably do
Mickey
it for
James.
her. Yeah, he did it for Mickey James.
She was about to write y'all the fuck off, and y'all were able to come to terms and make amends. And I think y'all should give that same grace to Gail Kim.
Yeah,
that's what I'm praying.
But it's also it's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm,
you can't force somebody to go back to something if they're not comfortable
maybe she
with
don't
it.
want. Yeah, maybe
that's maybe it's a her thing. Maybe she don't want to go back or whatever. But for y'all to fire her TNA, do better.
That was very disappointing news. And I really feel bad for the women's division because I can only imagine the relationships and the people that she's mentored over the years and people that we know personally. And like, because I think like, what if my mentor just was fired abruptly after like years? Like, I'll be like, devastated, you know? I do like what Tasha Steelz is doing with Mustafa Ali. I think we talked about it before. I love it. With the suits and everything. And Fire and Flavor are making a appearance at Ase Wrestling as a tag team again. When I seen that, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I might have to go to that. I might have to go to that as well.
Absolutely. We got to support.
Yeah, gotta support.
We all we got.
We all we got. I tuned into AEW last night.
I'm proud of you because
not much, just to see if there was anything there. The women main evented.
I feel like the women are always kind of like main events in the AEW. I don't think that's ever been their issue. I think their issue has been
on Dynamite. It's not that common. On Rampage, yeah.
I don't even know what is what at this point.
Yeah. So they main evented a tag team match. Toni and Rosa. I was gonna say Thunderstorm. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Megan pinned Thunder Rosa. So through the grapevine, I've been hearing that they want to make Megan Bayne like the new, it girl at AEW. She's another white girl who, I mean, looks like she has promise. It's interesting to me that y'all want to make someone else the new it girl, but y'all have hella
white girl.
Yeah. I mean, when I looked at her, I was just like, oh, okay, like, nothing else like really stuck out to me about her. But there's also so much talent you guys have in the women's division in ROH that you guys could be making the new it girl. Like, why does it have to be, somebody random like that? But I mean, they main evented. They didn't get their 15-minute 9 o'clock slot that they normally do. So that was pretty cool. And I'm always going to love what Toni Storm is doing. But there is a rumor going around that Mariah May might be open to signing with another company. WWE, maybe not WWE, but she has hinted at leaving AEW.
Leave, girl, leave. Leave and come to somewhere. Go to somewhere else.
Yeah. Because my thing is, what do you do that tops your feud with Toni Storm in AEW? Like, what do you do? It's not like they have other good shit going on. Like, I feel if I was her, I would have been like, I did the best thing I could possibly do in the women's division, and now I'm gonna go to WWE and be a star, or NXT, or even TNA at this point. Like just leave AEW.
Yeah.
Speaking of leaving AEW, Saraya announced that she has left AEW, and I don't think that surprises anyone because she hasn't really been on TV. I think that was one of the signings. I think AEW flopped. She had a handful of matches. She was champion for 2 seconds. The faction she had didn't really do much. They didn't put her in a feud with Mercedes,
which she spoke about. I think on the Wrestling Classic.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think it surprises anyone that she left AEW. She hasn't been on TV in a while, but I'm glad she was able to, do a little something back in wrestling, and well, we see what's next for her. Her book is out.
Yeah, we need to get that.
It is very spicy.
You got it already?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it when it came out.
Oh, excuse me. I need to add to my repertoire.
You know me with my memoirs, and I love Saraya. But I got the audiobook. It's only 7 hours, so literally like
that's a day.
Yeah, not easy. But it starts off spicy. Like, she gets into it. And I only listened to the first chapter. But I don't think she's going to shy away from anything.
I know there's a part where she mentioned Drew McIntyre and how Drew McIntyre stood up for her because there was this guy in wrestling. It was a wrestler who would go on to get charged with child pornography. And he was like really creepy and stuff to her. And Drew McIntyre stepped in and was like, yo, don't ever talk to her or any other girls or whatever.
Drew.
And,
He seems like a good guy.
He ended up getting arrested and child pornography.
Oh,
so
my God.
I wonder if she name drops in the book.
Jesus. I could only imagine what young women had to go through in the wrestling business.
Mind you, she's like 14
Jesus
at this
Christ.
time. 14, 15 years old at this time.
That is insane. Oh, man. I mean, okay, I'm definitely going to be finishing that book this week because I'm going to need to get all of the tea. And it's interesting because she's so scandalous, but there's so many things that she hasn't talked about, and I hope she talks about in the book.
Yeah, a lot of her relationships have not been good. That one, the Alberto Del Rio, the one she just, have not been good. She hasn't
had the best luck with men. But I want to see what else she does. If she's officially retired from wrestling, I want to know like what's next for Saraya because I think she has a lot to offer. And she's still young.
Yeah, she just hitting 30.
Yeah, there's so much that she can do in her future. So let's get into the Hall of Fame. The natural disasters were announced as the next inductees. Do you remember them? Did you grow up on them?
Girl, no.
Or
that was like 19.
Do you have an opinion on them?
I don't know who they are. However, the one where they did the Dark Side of the Ring, I can't think of his name right now, was a natural disaster. Earthquake. So I was just like, oh yay. So congratulations to them. I did not really know who they were. But Earthquake, I felt like watching his Dark Side of the Ring was just like,
he's so nice.
I feel it like wrestling was so horrible back then. Not the fight, it's just the business in general. Like the no health insurance, like you have to fight while injured. This man was going through, what was it, bladder cancer or stomach cancer?
Something
and
like
if they would have caught it
yeah.
early, even his daughter was like, she's in the field now. And and when she did the research, she knew like if this would have happened, then like they would have been able to save her dad. Like,
and I think there's so many wrestlers that died young that one legit doctor's appointment probably could have like kept them alive.
Yeah, but if you don't have the money to do so,
or the
insurance
at some point, admitting that you're hurt was looked at as a weakness. So you didn't want to lose your spot. You're like, oh, it's just a stomach pain. Like, I'm going to wrestle through that. It's just this. I'm going to wrestle through that to get paid. The next thing you know, you go to the doctor and they're like, your body's
dying.
Broken.
Like, you're dying.
You shouldn't even be walking anymore.
You have this. So you should definitely take care of. Speaking of, well, congratulations to natural disasters.
Yes. Oh, just one thing that I found funny, because I only knew who Earthquake was, but I remember watching old YouTube videos and he would do something like similar to like the people like run over the person laying down, and then he would like jump and it would be like an earthquake. And I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever, but like that's what wrestling was in the 80s. Like,
it was really
and
cartoonish.
He was.
But speaking of Dark Side of the Ring, y'all know that Mick Foley is like a near and dear true legend in my heart.
We love him.
He's definitely in my top 5, right? So, Dark Side of the Ring premiered this past week. Well, yeah, earlier this week. And it was about Hell in a Cell. And it talked about his career, and we know how much of a hardcore legend he is, and we know like the things that he's put his body through just to entertain the masses. So I knew that it was certain parts of Hell in a Cell, like my brother and I always laugh at JR's commentary when he dropped off the top of the cage. It was like, oh my God, he's killed him. He's broken it in half. We always laugh at that. And for some reason, I did not know. Like, I knew that the cage was not steady at the top, but I did not know.
Zipped?
Yeah, I didn't know it was zip ties.
The fuck?
And as Jim Cornette said, you got 600-pound men up here.
The fuck?
Zip ties.
Then I'm saying that they can hear the shit's
popping
off.
Bing,
and then y'all think, let me do a suplex. What?
Because also Mick Foley lied.
Oh my
He said that he already was on top of the cage before the match. And he's like, me lying, I was never up there because he's not comfortable with heights.
Right.
Now, my thing is that if he would have went up there during rehearsal or whatever, that wouldn't have happened.
No, because the Undertaker probably would have like, we're not doing it.
Undertaker
Also,
didn't want to do it anyway.
Zip ties? That's how y'all decide to secure this? I could not believe that. When I heard that, I was just like, I could not believe that. I was just like, what in the actual fuck is going on here?
Zip ties is crazy.
And then for it to not even be the steady chain, it was like the mesh?
Because that's what they had for the first Hell in a Cell with
like,
Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. And it was also 1997 or 1998. You know.
Crazy.
They didn't know any better. But, so it was that, right? And then it got to where, you know, he got flown off of the cage or whatever. They're raising the cage to get the gurney around. So Undertaker's on top of the cage being lifted to the high heavens. And then when he gets off of the gurney, go back into the ring, and he climbs back up again, and he gets choke slammed through the cage or whatever, the case like that. Cool. It was when he went backstage. And he goes to take her and he goes, Did we do the thumbtacks?
Terrifying.
And Jim Cornette is like, he doesn't even feel them being taken out of his back.
Terrifying. Especially because Undertaker talked about how during the match, he was still adamant on doing that spot, even though he was fucking concussed out of his mind. And he still was like, we got to do it. And then the first thing you say in the back was, did we do it? It's just like, oh my God. That's
right.
He's
so
scary.
concussed.
Oh, that was such a good Dark Side, because what I like about Dark Side too, because at that point you're like, what more can we hear about the Hell in a Cell match, right? Like, we're like, we've heard about it, Undertaker's talked about it, everyone's talked about it, but Dark Side for some reason still gives you like insight that you don't get, like the zip tie thing. Yeah. The fact that it was meshed, the fact that the Undertaker was like, hell no, the fact that and you know what's so hard too, when I was a kid, I remember watching that match, him falling off didn't like alarm me as it does now. It's hard to watch as an adult, because that's a real ass table. That ain't no gimmick table. That's a real fucking announce table that was broken. That is, and then the commentator's not realizing. Imagine they didn't get out the way.
Oh, Spanish company, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this man literally is falling.
Been sandwiched.
Like, oh my God, and not like, oh my God, and. I also have a huge respect for Terry Funk, because he's the innovator of all that shit, and he was the first one out there to check on his friend. Mm-hmm.
Wait, can we just talk about how much of a snack Al Snow was looking?
That was literally like on my mind. First of all, that's shocking to me. Anytime, no shade, no tea, anytime a white man ages well and is attractive like that, like his body, like
back off, because I seen him first.
You back off. We were able to meet him. We were like,
I was like, that's Daddy Snacks.
Oh my goodness. And he was like so nice, and that just made me like love him even more.
So nice, and he let me touch head.
He did let you touch the head.
Let me touch head.
Oh my God. No, he was, and he looked so good. That was probably my favorite part of Dark Side.
But also back to Dark Side. So as we're talking, I mean, as they're going on about Hell in a Cell, they're talking about how, you know, Mick Foley became very loved after that. He ended up with a tooth in his nose, his tongue through his lip.
Oh my God, that was another thing that they said, that it basically
he kept breathing so hard,
and it came up and it came out. It didn't go like this. It went like that.
He swallowed it, and he was breathing so hard that it came through his nose and got stuck. What the fuck? So I'm like, he didn't choke on his tooth.
What the fuck?
He had 16 stitches in his lip. He had a dislocated left shoulder or right shoulder. He was concussed out the ass. He had a tooth in his nose, and everybody loved him, right?
Jesus.
So now, as it continued to go on, you get the perspectives of his wife, Colette, and his children. She's trying to
Mick, you did good.
Okay.
She looks good.
She's trying to like figure out like, yo, how do I tell my kids that their dad is okay?
Also, her not being able to get in contact with him.
Right.
I do not envy that. Oh my God.
I don't envy that at all.
Oh God, life without cell phones. Jesus.
Life without cell phones. Okay. So now, as he's talking about his title reign, because like, what was it, 6 months later, he became champion. And, you know, all that. And Vince is just like, you did all this for them. And he was like, I love that, Raw. I love this. I love that. So now we get to the infamous I Quit match. Now, y'all know how I feel about this match. Like, talking about it now is literally giving me fire in my belly. Because this match, and when I was 9 years old, up until my big age of 35 right now, it creeps me out. I'm on the couch, literally laying with the blanket over my eyes because I cannot fathom to watch this. So, and this time his kids was in the audience watching it. And Noelle said that although she was there, she does not remember anything from that match because I guess it's a mechanism for her to block it out.
She said she doesn't have any memories of watching that. Which is so interesting.
So that match, learning that what was supposed to be like 2 to 3 chair shots to the head turned into 11.
Wow.
Like, and it was not supposed to turn into 11. And Rock was hitting him so hard.
Went overboard, for sure.
Rock was hitting him so hard that it just, like, I was agreeing with JR. When he was like, just say I quit, Mick. Like, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody.
Not after Hell in a Cell. Like,
not after Hell in a Cell.
I would have been.
No.
I know. Now I see, like, why his wife was so pissed.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, we literally thought you were dead 6 months ago. And now we're here and we're watching this.
You die.
happen,
And it's for the championship. You know? And it's like, don't get me wrong. Mick Foley has a lot of legendary matches. Like, his spot in the Hall of Fame is well deserved. It's solidified. You can't take that from him. But that I Quit match, it was just something in me. And I love everything that The Rock does except that match.
It was too much.
Like, it was too hard. It was too brutal. It was so uncomfortable to watch. And I believe, no, the Hell in a Cell opened that King of the Ring. But that match in itself, like, I'm just so glad, like, they played the audio. And if that was a shoot to play that audio because of how brutal it was in the back, then kudos to them who made that call, but like, play it. You know, and I remember the promo the day after on Monday Night Raw when he's standing up and he was just like, I want to tell you guys that I never said I quit. And he played the audio from the interview he had with Kevin Kelly. And in that interview, he said, The Rock will never get me to say, I quit, I quit, I quit. And then that was the audio that was played. But to live with those lifelong injuries and pains and, you know, and I love the fact, like, he's keeping his mind stimulated.
Yeah,
like, he's doing,
that's so important.
He's doing comedy shows.
You can tell how smart he is in general. So I'm glad that he has been able to do, like, the one-man shows. And he said it gives him a chance to look back on that stuff, like, in a better way, as opposed to just, like, because you don't want to regret. I mean, he doesn't regret it, obviously. It made him a star. Because he said, like, without Hell in a Cell, like, he would not have made as much of an impact in WWE as he did. So he feels like it was worth it. But at the same time, like, we've seen Mick Foley at conventions and stuff. And, like, he walks like a 90-year-old.
He need his hip readjusted. Well, he did have a hip replacement, I believe. But he needs to, like, readjust it. His body is broken up.
He's still missing that tooth.
Yeah, he got dentures now.
You know, and his daughter mentioned, like, what could have possibly happened to his brain, because back then concussion protocol wasn't what it was.
Mick for sure got CTE.
And he was, so you know, it's definitely, because at first I was like, how is this a Dark Side of the Ring? Like, we heard about this, but then when you think about the consequences and stuff, I'm like, wow, like, this is really crazy.
First of all,
and
all them wrestlers from the 90s got CTE. There's no way
I'm
they
sure
don't.
of it. I'm sure of it. So, I mean, I really enjoyed that episode. I'm glad they opened up with that episode and something that we lived through. So it wasn't like a lot of the episodes in this season are like, I don't know who this
Talk
is.
about trauma, okay? That was our trauma, okay?
Yes,
all right.
I really enjoyed that episode. I'm excited for the season.
I'm really excited for next week's episode because not him being arrested and in jail, like, he's interviewing from jail.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That is crazy.
He's interviewing from jail.
Wow,
and I want to be talking about wrestling is fake and stuff like that. Like, no. Now, there's some things that happen and he's just like, why would y'all do that? But when it comes down to people putting on a show, laying their bodies on the line every day in and day out, like, you have to give credit where credit is due. Even if I was training to be a wrestler and I was a wrestler and I'm in the ring like with Charlotte and Becky around that time or whatever, because we're all around the same age, I could never sit and I don't think I would ever want to sit and do a ladder match. I don't think I would ever want to sit and do an elimination. No, I probably would want to do an elimination chamber.
That seems fun.
I don't want to sit and get whipped by Bianca's braid.
Oof.
I don't want to sit and, go through a table. And the way that Mick Foley chose to be a hardcore legend from the very beginning, like him having them death matches in Japan with Terry Funk, coming back and being in ECW and like making sure that he's selling a bump and hitting his head on the ground. Like
doing bumps on concrete.
Like that is so crazy. And Mick has said like in the episode that he just wanted to make sure that he is loved. Mick, you are loved.
You are 1,000%
You are loved. You are cherished. You are adored. You are everything to us 90s kids. You are in my top 5 for sure. You are loved, and I'm so glad that you are able to be alive. A lot of these people would not have made it, and Mick, you made it. You kicking, you strong, Cheers to Mick Foley.
Cheers to Mick Foley.
Cheers to Mick Foley. Well, P, I guess that's a wrap for today. Got to end it on that note. Mick, we love you. We will be back next week with a new episode of Those Wrestling Girls, brought to you by the Revolt Podcast Network. So, P, for those who don't know where to find you, where can they find you?
On all socials at Queen3_PR, and make sure you subscribe to Those Wrestling Girls on YouTube. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers.
Yes, we are.
We need like 10 more subs, so hit that button.
Hit that subscribe button. And you can follow me, Miss Krista B, MS_KRISTAB_ on Instagram, and MS_KRISTAB on Twitter. Please make sure you're following the Revolt Creative Network or Revolt Podcast Network on all social medias and subscribe to them on Spotify as well to hear our episodes. Please make sure that you're following us on TikTok, everywhere on social medias, especially on TikTok. And on that note, it's your girl Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And we're out of here until next time. Bye.
Queen PR, Krista B, Those Wrestling Girls, TWG, Black Excellence, making it effortless. Podcast bringing up women in wrestling. Let's go.